believe me when I say.
I'm in pain. Believe me when I say.
And believe me when I say.
My pain is real.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have a great and wonderful day. And unfortunately, for all of us, we're never having a great and wonderful day on this channel. It's either depressing news, some child gets murdered, or what have you. It's just, all of us are just not having great and wonderful days. But here we are with Advil, which is, I'm going to assume I'm going to stop using. Obviously, I have a bottle of Advil now, so I'm going to use the bottle that I do have, but I'm probably going to move on to things that are not Advil, because, perhaps, I have more pain than, I guess, more against white people, and I guess I'm just being ignored because, I'm black, because that's just the thing. You are allowed to ignore a black person's pain, or any type of surgery, or what have you, because, you're just black. Yeah, that's what happens. I always had that issue, and I was always denied service for that. Yeah, that's just the reality. So what we have here, my friends and ladies, is that we have Advil just launched a campaign to achieve pain equity and end systematic pain racism. Yeah. You heard that right. Yeah. When I was a wee lad, we didn't have these problems. We didn't have this insanity. We didn't have this blatant stupidity of, where people think that, racism was so high that we're going to have, Advil come out and say that black people are ignored from, pain. I don't know about you, but, it seems that more black people as of today are, trying to hold those coattails of, of black people being, in severe pain. We have to be ignored for everything. Let me just put this pretty obvious to you. When I looked like I was dying, and this was back into a hospital that was not good, garbage, terrible, probably shouldn't ever go there, but back then, my eyes were turning yellow. The reason was for this, I had Joubert disease. Don't quote. I don't know. That's what it's pronounced. It's pronounced a whole bunch of other things, but that's what it's called. And my eyes were turning yellow. We did not know why. We thought I was having either kidney or liver failure. So obviously I'm going to be taken to the hospital for these such terrible things. And apparently, for some unappreciated reason, guys, I was seeing practically immediately because they see my eyes were yellow, and that's not normal. And I was put on an IV and stuff like that because they wanted to find out why I had yellow eyes and what was going on because my liver or kidney or what have you could have been failing. So I got all that figured out, and that's how I ended up finding out that I had Joubert's disease, a very, very mild form, but it was just showing then. But I was denied service, guys. I was denied service for that hospital because my pain wasn't important to them. Oh no, I immediately found out why I had a Joubert's disease. And before we have racist or incredibly people, it's like, well, why did you find out before, or what have you, or you could have found out earlier. It's like, well, my young stupid children. Well, maybe because those signs were showing that I had any type of disease at all. In fact, my own parents were unaware that this disease even existed because her 3 other kids did not have this so-called disease or had shown any signs of that disease. So, when that type of stuff happens and, you get really sick or you get the flu and, its bilirubin rises up, well, that's what happened. It just happens I was really sick at the time, and my bilirubin got higher, and Joubert's kind of inflates this to a higher standard. It doesn't really mean anything. I'm just sick longer. Also, I can't really drink alcohol anymore because of it, but that's probably a better thing. But this is just the reality. It's like I wasn't denied service because I was black. I was seen practically almost immediately, and I didn't like the fact that I had a needle stuck into my arm for IV and stuff because I was just very, very dehydrated at the time. So yeah, there was no actual reason why, though I didn't find out earlier or what have you. It's just we had no signs, and the disease is very, very minor, at least for me. So we have this here, obviously. For people who are watching, you probably know you're seeing here that says 3 in 4 black people suffering from pain believe there is a bias in how pain is treated. Pain equity occurs when everyone can reach their full health potential. And then, yeah, we commit to inspire change by elevating stories and providing education. And together, we will address pain bias at the source. No. Because there is no pain bias. I am not a fool. We even have this here going on with all these stories about pain equity and their stories. And, you know, on how they, I guess, assuming that they were ignored and stuff like that for all this and thing. In the recent study, Advil surveyed 2,000 Americans about their experiences when seeking pain and care treatment. The results from black individuals are significant and further justify the need for change. 93% say pain has an impact on their day-to-day life. Well, yeah. So does a lot of people, my father included. I have a terrible nephew that broke his own femur bone because he's an idiot, and now he's in constant pain. Oh, by the way, he's white, so, you know, there's that. 74% said there is a bias in how pain is diagnosed and treated. 66% said their pain condition became worse or stayed the same after negative experience with a healthcare professional. Yes, and I would like to see on where that study was really conducted, how many people were actually, how many people were done. Because again, we don't know. You could be interviewing, as what we see here. There's only like about 3 or 4 people, max 5, that you saw that were studied. So were these the people that you were talking about here? Because if these were the people and that was X percentage, then that's a problem, no? It says championing equitable pain relief. While many organizations and individuals within the black community are working to address pain bias, we believe it takes greater involvement from the broader health community to solve this systematic issue. That's why Advil, Morehouse School of Medicine, and Black Health have decided to team up on a mission for pain equity. Together, we're committed to taking on challenges at the source through research, education, and collaboration. Yeah, because we need just black health. How about we just get health for bloody everybody? How about that might be a better way to, you know, deal with things than, you know, just calling it black health, or because black people are not getting served, or what have you. That's completely asinine to me. Because a lot of these people are probably going to say this because, 1, it pushes a narrative, and 2, they get free health care. Ha ha! Oh, it's amazing! Yes, we'll go to one of these stories here. Idisai, or whatever I pronounce her dumb last name, says, had to undergo emergency surgery despite years of seeking help. Yeah, which type of country was she in, by the way? Because that leads to a lot of things. So a lot of the things that we could speak of is, like, if you're going to Canada, they more incentivize of you, you know, trying to off yourself than trying to help you. So there's that. It says nearly 10 years after her first offices at the age of 24, Liza was in so much pain that she admitted herself to the emergency room. After a few more tests, the doctors recommended she see a specialist immediately. Just 2 days later, she underwent surgery to remove a large pelvic mass, which caused so much internal damage that her fallopian tube and ovaries had to be removed as well. The entire experience was traumatic, but Edisai says the scariest part was having to consent to a full hysterectomy, which would have resulted in infertility. Oh, but that's supposed to be fine, guys, because trans people get this a lot. What's wrong with a hysterectomy? That's supposed to be not a problem here, right? So this has already hurts that narrative, but I digress. Fortunately, they did not have to remove her uterus, but the mere thought of such a procedure for a 24-year-old is devastating. Since surgery, Edisai has been fighting hard to manage her dermatosis, whatever the hell you call that, by changing her diet, medications, and supplements, and consulting new doctors. Her current OBGYN has provided hope for improved uterine health and reassured her that having children could be in her future. Yeah, but again, these are things that everybody goes through. There's not just one simple black person. There are bad doctors and there are good doctors. Especially when you're not especially when you're not in when you don't have insurance, this could provide a bigger issue. This has nothing to do with kept telling how strong she was. When she asked about her experience, she would mention thinking, I'm not strong, I'm actually suffering, and I'm minimizing my pain because I feel like no one understands me. The more doctors dismissed her pain as normal, the more she began to be thinking it was her, or her mattress, or her daily routines, or her diet. It took years of severity pain, spasms, nausea, vomiting, and extended bleeding to finally determine that the root of her pain was not normal. It was safe for endometriosis. Yeah, and I want to know exactly as well, again, what country she was in, because that provides a huge big deal as well. And if she was in the U.S., that's unfortunate. But, and then two, how many times did she go to, how many other doctors did she go to? They seek approval. What were the symptoms was she experiencing? Was she saying everything that was happening? Because I have somebody that I know that doesn't tell her doctors the truth, and then the doctors will misdiagnose or say something that's wrong, and then you don't get diagnosed or fixed for the problem. So again, if you're not explaining things correctly, it could be bad. And yeah, it's just not good. There's a lot of reasons why these things could go unheard of, but it's not just black people being affected, alright? It's not just black people. It happens to do with a lot of other people as well. I know there are white people that would go through this. There are Mexicans that go through this. There are a whole bunch of people that go through this. It's not just black people. So stop making it about black people, because that's asinine, insane, and we just need to stop that. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care.
I'm disgusted by what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted, because it's algorithmic disease, the social media.